Okay, next item on the agenda is a presentation, sign language interpreter by Antoinette Harrell, self-advocate for statewide independent living council. Mr. Lewis Joseph, that's on the agenda.
Thank you so much.
I'm good.
Appreciate that. Good evening.
Good evening.
Antoinette.
And Ms. Harrell, just give us your name and address for the record, please.
Yes, Antoinette Harrell, 708 Avenue J, Kentwood, Louisiana.
Okay.
First, I want to thank the parish president, Councilman Nick Joseph, my councilman, and to the entire parish council. And I do have Brenda Steptoe with me. I just want to give you a little bit about myself. 13 years ago, I became an amputee. I knew what it was to walk with two legs. It's a struggle, it's a challenge. 5 years ago, Councilman Nick Joseph recommended that I serve on the statewide Independent Living Council Board. I am in my second term, and I sit on that board with some of the most brilliant people that fight and advocate for the rights of those with disabilities. One of my council members is deaf. And I thought about the challenges that she have every day and people like her live with. I am standing before you not as a self-advocate, but an advocate for human beings. Their voices are silent, but we can be their voices. I was told that they cannot hear anything that takes place at our parish meetings and our local meetings on the local municipality level. What I am asking this council to do, as President Robbie Miller always say in every speech or conversation, Tangipahoa Parish is the greatest parish. We're the leaders. We want to be inclusive to everyone, those that is hearing. I learned a new language. We don't say hearing impaired, we say hard of hearing. If you would just allow me to get through my presentation. You know how it is when you work with everything. It is a federal law that everyone be included. I could not imagine what it is not to hear. Like most of you couldn't imagine what it is to have one leg. But I stand here and I'm asking you to add sign language interpreters to your meetings. Because getting secondhand information is not always the correct information. They pay their taxes like anyone else. So I'm asking you to not allow what I am saying to you, what I'm asking of you, to fall upon deaf ears. For just one moment, I would just like silence in the room, just to imagine what that is for someone who can't hear what our lawmakers are saying, what you're advocating, and what you're fighting for. We can be the leaders throughout the state of Louisiana that say, let's be inclusive to those that is hard in hearing, those that is deaf. Discrimination against individuals with disabilities persists in such critical areas as employment, housing, public accommodations, education, transportation, and communication. Recreation, institutionalization, health service, and voting access to public services. Please do everything that is within your power to ensure that the monthly meetings have sign language interpreters for your constituents. Yes, you was elected, I was appointed by Governor John Bell Edwards. Not as I said, I don't like the word self-advocate because I'm not here to be self-servant. I'm here to serve our parish, our neighbors, our friends, and our families who face this challenge every single day. So I'm calling upon you to continue to make this parish one of the greatest parishes there is in Louisiana, and that we are. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here this evening. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Antoinette.
Any comments? Any comments from the council?
I want to say something.
Oh, sure, sure.
I'm going to say it in silence first, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Thank you.
I said, please help the deaf community, because deaf people, they vote too. They need help just like you, and you. Please help us. We need, when there's a tornado or hurricane, my family call me and ask me what's going on. Why? Because they don't have interpreter for the parish to be on television to tell them what's going on. Please help the deaf families. Their community is necessary to be heard. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm sure we as a council will have more dialogue discussing this one, okay?
Yeah, I think it's worth it.
Thank y'all for coming this evening. Really appreciate it very much.
That's a good question.
Some comments or questions or?
Well, we were wondering the possibility of closed caption. Would that suffice, I wonder? It's look, your request has not fallen on deaf ears, pardon the pun. But, yeah. Actually, I taught Brenda at Westside, my former student. Actually, it's Minister Brenda Campbell now, am I correct? Yes. Yeah. But I think that is a group that can easily be overlooked because of their, very silent, yeah. So I think, David, maybe we can form a committee to look into it, and I don't mind serving on that committee if you want to
Sure.
appoint someone later on.
Yeah, well,
And there may be some organizations out there who will gladly come and do that for us. I don't know what's out there.
I'll put out an email, see who's interested in serving.
Okay.
You know, and we'll take it from there. Thank y'all for
All right.
coming.
Antoinette, we appreciate what you just did.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you much. Okay, the next item is renaming